think it's becoming much more relevant, not so much because of the content of psychology, it's more from the methods, if you like, of being able to take an issue and look for objective evidence and being able to evaluate that objective evidence. I think that's very important, particularly in this era of so much information on social media. I think the training that psychology gives you in being able to seek out objective evidence and evaluate it, I think that's probably the most critical thing. I'm not sure I'd call it excitement. I think it's reassuring that a lot of the research to do with the interface between psychology and the community has probably lifted in standard. So in relation to autism, there's much more rigorous evaluation of assessment approaches to autism. And there's also much more rigorous evaluation of interventions for autism than previously. There's probably 100 different interventions out there at the moment, but at least the field is moving towards where there is systematic evaluation of those interventions to try and work out which ones are the most effective. So I think that's the reassuring thing. I wouldn't necessarily call it exciting. I guess it would be collaborating on research, and I've particularly enjoyed supervising research students, particularly honours students. I think honours students, firstly, they're typically very exceptional students, and they just have so much enthusiasm for their projects and are willing to invest so much in their projects that it's really rewarding to have an honours student move through and complete a very successful project and move on to some area of postgraduate study in psychology. I think to try and preserve the breadth of psychology. Like when I was head of school almost a decade ago now, there was a move for psychology to move into medicine, which I think would have been a big mistake because I think it would have focused the discipline on clinical and neuropsychology, which, while they're very important areas, I think psychology is much broader than that. With business psychology, developmental psychology, cognition, and so forth. And I think it's that breadth of psychology and the interaction between those areas that really makes for a very fertile research environment. So I would hope that we could stay broad and include all of those sub-disciplines and perhaps introduce some new sub-disciplines. I guess locally, just having my last 11 or so PhD students finish up and hopefully end up with careers that they'd like. More personally, I hope to spend more time with my two daughters and their partners over in Melbourne. And hopefully there's another generation that I can spend some time with as well. That would be it.